Hi everyone, thanks for stopping by my channel. What I wanted to share in this video today is a story about one of my favorite manifestations, and if you don't like the word manifestation, substitute in goal. But it was from the time in my life where I really first came across this idea that we don't want our goals for the goals themselves. We actually want our goals for the feeling we think achieving the goal will bring us. And so this happened fall of 2013, so quite a while ago. I was in my last semester of school ever during my graduate degree, and finals were coming up, and I was just burrowing into my apartment for 3 weeks to really just tune out the outside world completely and prepare, because I wanted to kill this last semester of school, go out with a bang, and get those straight A's. I really wanted those A's. And it was exactly at this moment where I saw the author of the book, The Desire Map, Danielle Laporte. She's amazing. Go check her out if this concept resonates with you. But I saw her giving an interview to one of my favorite people online on this concept of the desires underneath our goals and how we're really chasing the desire, we're not chasing the goal. Now, to be completely transparent, I remember thinking, that's crazy. My initial knee-jerk reaction was, that is crazy, I want the A's. It's not something underneath the A's, I want the A's, because I was so entrenched in the old way of seeing things and my old paradigm. But then I couldn't deny that what she was sharing was resonating with me on a really deep level. And so I really thought about it. I thought to myself, okay, if what she's saying is true, and I don't want the A's because of the A's, I want them because of some underlying feeling that the A's will give me, what is that feeling? And it was almost instantaneous. I realized I wanted to feel vastly, immeasurably proud of myself. I wanted to feel spent in the best possible way, knowing I did everything I could do, I left no stone unturned, and I left it all out there. And what I realized is, as opposed to what would sometimes happen to me during studying, I would get overwhelmed, I would get stressed, and I would start fixating on all of the factors that I can't control, like the curve of the grading. I couldn't control. I couldn't control how much other people prepared, studied, how well other people performed on the day of the exam. I couldn't control what we were going to be tested on in each of these courses because the volume of information was so vast. A lot of it was a crapshoot about what would actually appear on the exam. And most of you who've done challenging college or graduate school courses can totally relate to that probably. And the stress would lead me to kind of fixate on all of these factors that I could not control, and that would get in the way of my A's, and all of a sudden I would just get really discouraged and think, what's the point? So those are the first two kind of steps of this process that you could start thinking about. Are you focusing too much on the surface level goal? And are you focusing on factors that you cannot control and therefore feeling overwhelmed and discouraged? So I started realizing, wow, this is a so much more empowering way to think about this whole process, because if what I want to feel is really proud of myself, then I can feel proud of myself at any moment. It doesn't have to be at that undetermined moment 4 or 5 weeks from now when the grades come out and when they look a certain way, straight A's, and then I will feel a fleeting sense of pride/relief. I can feel pride every day. Now, for those of you skeptics out there, of course, feeling pride on a moment-to-moment basis in your everyday is probably not going to be as intense as if I did achieve the straight A's 5 weeks out in the future. But the fact is, I can feel proud of myself at any moment. And what's so profound about this story is that shifting my focus from the straight A's to the feeling that I wanted to feel, which was immensely proud of myself, changed the way I studied. Before, because I was overwhelmed or stressed or too focused on superficial surface layer goals, I would start flitting around from textbook to textbook, skimming things, always feeling in the back of my head that there was something better I could be doing or a better use of my time, and just always being a little distracted and not fully focusing, and therefore not fully committing to the process. We've all faced this on certain areas of our life, when we're stressed, we're not giving our 100% because we're not capable of showing up at 100% because our mind is distracted. Instead, I wanted to feel proud of myself, so I needed to study in a way that would enable me to generate that feeling for myself. So I create flashcards and really actively memorize and regurgitate information or facts that I thought might very well be tested. I actually had a whiteboard in my apartment where I would step into the role of a professor and I would start writing out information, formulas, whatever, and I would pretend I was teaching a classroom because, as we all know, when you teach something, you internalize it on a much deeper level. That also boosted my confidence so much more than if I just tried to do everything in my head. And at the end of every day, I reviewed the things that I had learned that day. I kept track of my progress in a visual, tangible way. And so every day, I definitely got that little dopamine hit of, wow, look how much I did today, look how much ground I covered, look at how much I accomplished, and I felt proud of myself. To the point where I really pushed my own limits and I really showed up so much more fully than I was used to showing up. And by the end of the study period, I felt spent in the best possible way, and I walked into those exams knowing I couldn't really have done that much more than I had already done. So, ironically, all the massive action up front helped me surrender the outcome because I started thinking, you know what, I'm gonna let the chips fall where they may because there's nothing else I could have done. So if my best effort still wasn't enough, then so be it, because I felt the feeling of pride this entire time. And guess what? It worked. I remember the exams were hard. I remember there was at least one time I thought, is he or she, the professor, seriously testing us on this? This is so nitpicky and annoying. And I did it anyway. And I walked out of that final exam feeling so proud of myself and genuinely thinking it didn't matter what those final results said. And as a postscript / epilogue / ending of the story, I did get the straight A's. But I'm so happy to convey in this video, truly and honestly, I got the A's. Was I excited? 100%. But it was anticlimactic because I got the feeling that I wanted before the grades ever came out. So to recap, instead of focusing on the surface level goal, ask yourself, what is the feeling underneath the goal that I think achieving the goal will get me? In this case, I stopped focusing on the straight A's and started focusing on the feeling underneath, which was I wanted to feel immensely proud of myself. And if you're focusing too much on the superficial goal, catch yourself. If you start getting overwhelmed and discouraged because you're focusing on all the factors you can't control, catch yourself. Shift back to that desired feeling and start noticing how stepping into the desired feeling changes your actions in the present moment. So because I wanted to feel proud of myself and I wanted to feel proud of myself right now, I started studying differently and creating outcomes for myself today that would generate the feeling that I wanted to feel. So I hope that served anybody that either one, just really likes a good story, or two, is looking for steps to actively manifest more of their desires in their life. It's one of my favorite manifestations I've ever had. And I hope you enjoyed hearing about it. Thanks so much, as always, for stopping by my channel, and I can't wait to talk to you again soon. Bye.